Welcome back. Today, as usual, we have a word, a birthday, some events, a little bit of FYI, a song, and a quote. And as I get this episode ready for you, it's overcast outside and I'm hearing thunder. So I'm very interested in getting this done so I can get off the wire. The air conditioner's off, so we shouldn't have that for noise. The do not disturb is on, so we shouldn't have that for noise. So grab your favorite cuppa, sit back, and let's have a look. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for July 3rd. July 3rd is the 184th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 185th in leap years, with 181 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is eulogy. Eulogy is a noun that means a writing or speech, usually in honor of a deceased person, as in, she delivered the eulogy at his funeral. It can also mean high praise, but I imagine it isn't used that way much because it's so often thought of in regards to funerals. The word eulogy comes to us from Greek, word parts eu, which means good, and logia, which means speech. Put together that way, eulogia means praise. First known use of the word eulogy is in the 1400s, eulogy. And with that, we're going to start with the birthday of Roman Emperor Valentinian I, born on July 3rd in the year 321. Also known as Valentinian the Great, he only ruled for about 11 years, but due to the successful nature of his reign and the rapid decline of the empire after his death, he's often considered to be the last great Western emperor. Valentinian lived to the age of 54. On July 3, 1608, Quebec City was founded by Samuel de Champlain. Samuel de Champlain, by the way, is considered to be the father of New France and the father of Acadia. You might remember that we've mentioned the Acadians recently. And Lake Champlain, of course, is named after him. Adresseavisen is Norway's oldest newspaper still in print. Adresseavisen was founded and the first edition published on July 3, 1767. July 3, 1863 sees the final day of the Battle of Gettysburg, culminating with a battle known as Pickett's Charge. On July 3, 1884, Dow Jones & Company published its first stock average. And if you trade or follow the stocks, you want to be aware that the U.S. markets, at least, will close early today and will be closed tomorrow the 4th. Idaho was admitted as the 43rd U.S. state on July 3, 1890. The Constitution of Puerto Rico was approved by the United States Congress on July 3, 1952. And that reminds me that I want to mention that the Free Associated State of Puerto Rico is a Caribbean island and unincorporated territory of the United States with official Commonwealth status. Puerto Ricans have been U.S. citizens since 1917 and can move freely between the island and the mainland. Because of Puerto Rico's unincorporated territory status, they don't vote in the U.S. presidential elections, but they don't pay federal income tax. Puerto Ricans can send and receive mail through the U.S. postal system, just as if I were sending a letter across town, and again, they can move freely between the island and the mainland. I mention this because there have been a few situations recently where people who should have known better demanded passports and ultimately denied service to Puerto Ricans because they didn't have their passports with them. Things got ugly when they didn't need to. Again, Puerto Ricans have been U.S. citizens for over 100 years and can move freely between the island and the mainland. No passport required. All right, I'll climb down off my soapbox now. Today's song is Silly Love Songs by Wings, number 1 on July 3rd, 1976. After the Beatles broke up and went their separate ways, Paul started a band called Wings with his wife Linda. Silly Love Songs was one of their collaborative creations and McCartney's 27th #1 song as a songwriter. Silly Love Songs was Paul's reply to critics who had criticized him for writing lightweight love songs. For example, Paul's Auntie Lil asked why did they all have to be love songs and couldn't he write about something interesting instead? In Silly Love Songs, Paul invites the listener to have a laugh on him. Silly Love Songs was released in April of 1976, actually hit #1 for the first time in May of 1976, and was displaced by Diana Ross's Love Hangover for 2 weeks, and then picked up the #1 spot again on June 12th, holding that spot for the next 4 weeks, making it #1 on July 3rd, 1976. Interesting to note that while this song was a major #1 hit for Paul McCartney, he has never performed it live again after Wings disbanded in 1981, although he did re-record the song for a motion picture soundtrack, the movie Give My Regards to Broad Street. Silly Love Songs has been covered by several other artists in the intervening years. Silly Love Songs, #1, July 3rd, 1976. Link in the description. Oh, as I was going over the material in today's video, this quote seemed to resonate with some of the ideas put forth in about today's word of the day. And the quote is by Buddha, and it is, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." Buddha. Alrighty, y'all take care. Be good to each other. I'll see you next time. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoyed this series, you can check out the playlists in the description. You can find me on BitChute, Facebook, Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, and X, as well as on a blog page called No Really. All those links are in the description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.